Hansi Flick has quietly handed the next few headlines to his youngsters, and in football, quiet decisions often roar louder than press conferences. Tonight at the Carlos Tartiere, the scoreboard will show Oviedo versus Barcelona, but the real contest starts in the dressing room. Pedro Fernandez, once sidelined with a foot problem after playing for Barca Athletic, has been named in the travelling squad, and that tiny return changes the texture of Flick's attacking options. At the same time, a promising goalkeeper, Tartiere, is on the bench as cover, because Diego Cochin is away with the USA at the U20 World Cup. A reminder that international tournaments cascade into club choices. Those two updates read like an encouraging youth story, but they arrive against the backdrop of a more worrying picture. Gavi remains out after knee surgery. Lamine Yamal and Alejandro Balda are still being eased back from groin and hamstring issues. Fermin Lopez is unavailable, and Marc-Andre is not fit to play. A constellation of absences that forces Flick to juggle minutes, match sharpness, and long-term planning all at once. This is the tightrope: play too conservatively tonight and momentum stalls, rush players back and risk setbacks. Instead, Flick seems to be threading the needle, giving opportunities to homegrown energy while protecting the squad's bigger picture for the weeks ahead. Pedro is not a headline superstar, but his return matters because his profile, direct running, knack for space between the lines, and a feel for quick combinations offers a low-risk, high-reward injection late in games when fatigue gives defenders a sliver of room. Ala's presence matters for a different reason. Goalkeeping depth under pressure is a club's invisible backbone, and giving a young keeper a matchday environment with the first team has benefits that go beyond one night. Put those two developments into the same sentence and you see Flick's current thesis. Adapt to absences by accelerating the pathway for talent that already understands Barca's DNA. Tactically, expect adjustments. With key fullbacks not available, defensive rotations and a reliance on a compact midfield could define the opening stages. With Gavi missing, someone like Pedri or Frankie will be asked to add control and tempo, while in the final third, Flick might lean on Ferran, Rafinha and a returning Lewandowski, or even deploy Marcus Rashford in more central, high-impact minutes should the need arise. This approach preserves the club's playing identity, ball progression, positional interchange, aggressive pressing, but alters how minutes are parcelled across competitions in the short term. For Real Oviedo, the matchup is an opportunity. Defending at the Carlos Tartiere against a Barca side, missing several starters gives them a psychological edge, so the visitors must be cautious not to hand the initiative away with sloppy transition defending. Yet Barca's bench now contains players with fresh legs and house-style instincts who can tilt a game late, and football matches are often decided in the margins, where experiments become match-winning moves. Beyond the 90 minutes, there's strategic ripple. How Flick manages this cluster of injuries will shape the team's readiness for the next wave of fixtures, including Champions League tests where minutes and recovery become currency. If Dro's cameo sparks a goal or Ola is thrust into the spotlight through circumstance and holds firm, those are case studies in squad planning. If the team slips because tried and true starters are absent, the conversation will be about depth and the limits of relying on youth under pressure. Either way, this is not a routine rotation. It is a microcosm of a season in which coaching, medical prudence, and academy integration must all line up. Tonight's squad list may read like a small bulletin, a returning Dro, a called-up Ola, familiar names missing. But football is a game of consequences, and small tweaks now can cascade into selection dilemmas, momentum shifts and transfer whispers. Keep your eyes on the details: who gets the first minutes, who Flick trusts in the final 10, and whether a youth call shapes the narrative of Barca's early La Liga campaign. Because sometimes the quietest squad decisions make the loudest history, and at the Carlos Tartiere tonight, a little gamble might just be the spark that redefines the next few weeks for Barcelona.